Hi, I'm Rebecca Hansen. Welcome to Maker Studio. Today we're going to be making some foil embossed notebooks. So I know that school is already back in session for a lot of kids, but this is a good project for kids and adults alike. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so for this project, you are going to need some paper-backed notebooks. Make sure it is no thicker than 5 millimeters because we're using our Curio machine, and it needs to have a paper finish so that the foil embossing sheets adhere correctly. So this little notebook is 5.5 inches by 3.5 inches, and I'm just going to place that in the center of my Curio cutting mat. And I've already positioned this on the platform, and I have no additional mats underneath because the notebooks are already quite thick, so they don't need any extra mats. So I've just got my cutting mat, and I'm going to place the notebook directly in the center. Okay. And just press firmly. And then I'm going to take my foil embossing sheets, and I have the gold foil embossing sheets. These come in a few different colors. And I've cut a sheet to 5 inches by 3 inches, so just a little bit smaller than my notebook. And I'm going to, that was easy, peel off the liner from the foil embossing sheets and just place directly to the center of the notebook. And then just try and smooth that out. Ooh, it's not very sticky, so that is why. We have painter's tape, and we're just going to use 2 pieces of that to hold down the foil sheets as well as just stabilizing the notebook a little bit more. So I'm just going to do 2 pieces on the long sides of the notebook, making sure to grab that foil as well. And just smooth it down. Okay, this will ensure that your foil will stay in place and your notebook will stay in place. So then once you have that stabilized, you can go ahead and insert your mat into your Curio machine. Okay, so I started by downloading a swan design from the Silhouette Design Store, and I've just inserted it into Silhouette Studio. And to begin, I'm going to draw a rectangle to mimic the size of the notebook. So I measured my notebook beforehand, so I know that it measures 5.5 by 3.5. So I'm just going to input those dimensions, and then I'm going to center that to the page. So that is just mimicking what I've already done on my mat. Then I'm going to take my swan design and rotate it so that it's going to be in the correct orientation on the notebook. And then just size it down to however big or small you want your swan. I'm gonna have it on the upper half of my notebook, and then you can use your align tools to center the object to the notebook. So that looks good. And then to emboss this design, or I guess I should say deboss, we're going to open the emboss panel and select deboss, and we're going to use the spiral embossing pattern for this design. And that just allows a really tight fill. So we're going to select the spiral, and then we're going to decrease the spacing to the lowest you can go, which is 0.005 inches. So once you've got your pattern in debossing, you're ready to go to the send panel. And we're just using tool 1, and we're going to use the foil embossing sheets as our material and the fine embossing tool. And we just want to make sure that we're not going to emboss this rectangle shape. That was just our template to help us center the pattern. So just click the rectangle and make sure it's no deboss, so that the swan is the only thing that is highlighted in red. And now we're just going to connect our machine and get ready to cut. And before you press send, just make sure you load your fine embossing tool into the first carriage and lock it into place. All right, so once the machine is done embossing, we can gently remove our tape from either side. And lift up your notebook. And then we'll peel away the embossing sheets, and it's not gonna come up all the way at first. So we're gonna take that same tape that we used, or you can get a fresh piece of painter's tape, and I like to just wrap it around my fingers, and then we're gonna dab up and down and remove all the extra gold foil pieces. And you can see the extra pieces just come off really easily. And that is it. So you can see it makes a really pretty gold foil design. I've done a few others over here with a little ice cream cone and a bumblebee and a paper plant. So you can really customize it to your liking. So if you want to give this project a try, make sure you check out silhouette101.com for a full tutorial and step-by-step instructions, and share the projects that you're making with your foil transfer sheets. And we will see you next time.